Hey guys, what is going on? My name is NoJ456, and today I'm going to be taking you through the Beast from Beyond Easter egg tutorial. I'm going to be taking you through every single step of this Easter egg from start to finish, every single required step anyway, and then I'm going to be kind of recommending some of the things that you do beforehand so you actually win this thing and don't die. Anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started and get into this thing. Now, the first thing you need to do is go ahead and search for one of 3 different locations for a part that you need hidden inside. Now, this is where it will spawn in the first area, kind of in the blue electricity water room. All you need to do is check if there's a nice little electrical box there. If there's not, you can go ahead and move right on out because that means that is not your spawn location. The second one is over here by bomb stoppers up on this wall. I actually had the location right there, so that's what I'm going to be coming back to do this first step of the Easter egg in just a second here. But for the time being, let's go ahead and go and show you the third spot, which is down here in the cargo room. You're gonna head down the stairs and kind of while you're sitting on these stairs, look up and then scan this entire wall for it. It'll be on this kind of like left side of the wall. Pretty darn easy to spot once you know where it is, but go ahead, look for it. If it's not there, move right along to the next spot. But once you have your spot, this is what you need to do. So go ahead, head back over there, and you're going to cook a grenade until it is ready to blow up. You're gonna go ahead and throw it and blow it up pretty much right on top of that little thing. Out is going to pop a small Ghost and skull, and you're gonna need to shoot it to go ahead and collect it. So go ahead, boom bada boom right there, and you are on to the next step. So after you get your first skull, make your way into this cargo bay area, and you're gonna need to find these 4 red X's on the floor. They spawn in the same spot every single game, and basically if you have one player game, if you have a solo game, you only need to find one of these X's. If you have a 4-player game, each of these 4 players is gonna have to stand on the red X at the same time. But essentially it's kind of like a self-defense game where your feet are essentially stuck in mud. You're not allowed to move anywhere out of your circle, and you have to defend yourself for about 60 seconds without getting pushed off, without dying, and without moving from your little green circle, because if you move out of it, you will fail and have to go on to the next round to try this again. It's very, very easy to do this if you do it on a very early round, very quickly, and do it with 1 zombie at the very end. But as you can see, basically the skull will start rising up into the air. You just have to kill all the zombies that start spawning around you. Again, make sure you get 1 zombie at the end of the round to make it the easiest as possible. Once you kill off all the zombies, you'll see a skull will actually spawn somewhere in this area. There's a couple different spots. You will always have to jump off of something in order to grab this skull. And after you jump off, grab the skull, you can actually go over here and grab the entangler, which we're gonna use for a couple steps of the Easter egg, and you're good to go on to the next step. So after getting the entangler, you need to make your way over to this little red hallway that's actually right outside of the area you were just in the cargo zone. You're gonna need a few seconds to yourself and take out the entangler and suck up this little floppy disk that is on the floor there. Now you're gonna go ahead and suck it up and then shoot it into the vent at the end of the hallway just by releasing the right trigger. You're gonna hold the right trigger, release the right trigger, and you're gonna see a little puff of smoke if it's done correctly. The first one there failed, so it went back into the same spot, but you see a little puff of smoke, and then you need to check these locations up here. These are the ones that I found so far, but really you just need to check around the map and find all these different vents that are in this area. There's only a few of them that can actually come out of you. If you just check the spots that it's coming out of here, you should be able to find it. There might be 1 or 2 that I missed, but just look for these little vents that the zombies come out of, and if you look around enough, you'll actually be able to find the one that shoots out of the floppy disk. So you go ahead and you grab this floppy disk, and then this is 1 of 4 floppy disks that you need to actually reactivate Neil. So I'm gonna show you all the different floppy disks because you need to know each one of your floppy disk before you actually enter it into the console. You need to know all of the symbols, and this is obviously easier if you have 4 players. If it's solo, it's a little bit more of a pain, but this is the first of 4 floppy disks that you need to discover what the symbol is on top of it. Go ahead and write it down on a sheet of paper, and let's move on to how you find the next floppy disk. Now the next floppy disk can be found by going into Pack-a-Punch and leaving Pack-a-Punch for the first time, which is actually going to spawn in a blue alien. Now with this blue alien, you actually need to kill it and remember the location that it dies. Now it can move around a little bit because it is a little glitchy. You'll see that in just a second here. But as you can see, I go ahead, I kill the alien right there, and then you need to look around in the area where he died. Basically, you'll have a little indicator that says hold square to pick up item, or hold X to pick up item. You need to look around, find that, and that is where the floppy disk is going to be sitting for the rest of the game. So you need to remember that spot for your game, and go ahead, pick up that floppy disk and remember that symbol. Let's move on to the next one. So the third key card is actually right in this location as well. It's very easy. All you need to do is run over. It is sitting right here every single game right behind this little lamppost. Go ahead and pick that up, mark down the symbol that it has for this one, and we'll move on to the last one. And for the last floppy disk, what you need to do is go ahead and grab the Entangler and get one of these helmets from the spawn. Now, they're basically all over the map. You can find them in many locations, but the spawn has a couple different ones of them. And basically, you just need to grab this thing using R2, hold it down, and then walk across the map or halfway across the map into this big force field medical bay area. You can use this route that I'm taking here. It's probably the fastest one, the easiest one to do in the entire game. But go ahead, take this helmet up, and then release R2 to shoot it into there and break one of the green monitors that is sitting there. You can break pretty much any of the green monitors. If you fail, just go ahead and grab another astronaut helmet. But after you break it, the force field will go down, and as you can see, there is the final key card. And now that you have all the key cards, make sure you have them all drawn down, and they are very, very similar, so you need to make sure you draw them correctly, and you are ready to go on to the next step, which is figuring out the order in which you insert these into the console, because if you fail, all of the key cards are going to reset. They'll still be in the same spots, but the symbols on them will reset, and you'll basically have to go all over again with going and picking them up, placing them back down, and hoping it's in the right order. So let's go ahead and learn what the correct order to do these things is. All right, so the next thing you need to do is you need to use this sheet right here to actually solve the puzzle of what order your cards go into Neil. Now, once again, if you mess this thing up, 3 cryptids are gonna spawn. You're gonna hear a big like noise, and then you're gonna need to kill 3 cryptids, and then you need to go ahead and go again. You don't have to go to the next round, so it's not a huge deal if you mess up, but you do have to kill the cryptids, and your symbols will reset, and you're gonna get a brand new set of symbols every single time. They're gonna be in the same place once again, but they're gonna be brand new symbols. So let's go ahead and take a look at the example that I have here and show you guys how to use this. So here is the image of my 4 cards. Obviously this is correct, because whenever it is correct, Neil is going to turn angry at you, and that is how you know you've actually done this correctly, is Neil turns angry and your HUD turns all red. But let's go ahead and take a look at the cards I have here. I have a nice little V. I have a V with something sticking off of it. I have the X one, and then I have the 4 triangle one. So what I do is I go ahead and I look at the sheet and I find the row that actually matches up with all of my parts. Now in this case, this is actually row number 2, and let me go ahead and show you why that is. Obviously, these would be our 4 cards. We wouldn't know that this is the order, but we would just have a collection. We would have a V drawn, we would have this thing drawn, we would have the X drawn, four triangles drawn, and we would go to the sheet. As you can see, the row number 2 is the only row that has all 4 of these symbols. They have the V sign, a V with something sticking out, we have the X, and then we have the 4 triangles. Any other ones in this order are just completely ignored. Sometimes like this could be up here, you just completely skip it, but basically it's in a descending order. So this is number 1. Whatever's at top, or the highest symbol that you have, is number 1. The next one down is number 2. The X would be number 3, and then the 4 triangles would be number 4. Obviously that worked, because that's what I put in here, and it actually made Neil angry, and my HUD turned red. So that's basically the example for it. The only other things I'll say about this step is to be careful about your symbols. Some of them look very, very similar. As you can see, this one right here, this has a V, but there's a triangle at the bottom, and this one over here at row number 5 is a V, but it has a square at the bottom. So just be very, very careful with your little markings. Make sure you're doing the correct ones, and it should be a very, very easy step to do, and you should be able to get this pretty much first try using this chart. So let's go ahead and get on to the next step after you have made Neil angry. So after making Neil angry, he is going to be actually using traps all around the map and slamming doors trying to kill you, so just be aware of that. But what you need to do is go ahead and go get the Entangler and go behind this brute, suck up the button, and then you need to shoot it into this Beast from Beyond poster that is in the Afterlife arcade. No, it doesn't make any sense, just do it, suck it up from behind the brute, shoot it into that portal, and we're on to the next step. So once you shoot the button through the portal, you need to head back over to the medbay area, the area that you shot the force field out, and you will see the button has actually been teleported under the desk. Hold square on that thing, and that is going to reveal a cipher on the wall. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and take a step back here, pause the video here, and tell you guys something very, very important. If you mess this up, I cannot help you. You are going to fail this probably because you basically have a very, very small chance of solving this randomly. It takes a ton of time to solve it normally, and just for example, one of the different ciphers on here took me about 4 hours to solve. It is extremely difficult to do. It is extremely, extremely difficult. You can get some easier versions, you can get some harder versions of the game. It's completely random, but either way, I'm not going to be explaining those in this video. I'm going to be explaining the trick to do it, but take your time on this, because if you mess this up, I cannot help you. You'll probably have to restart your game. So let's go ahead and get into it here. So whenever you walk up to this machine for the first time, do not turn anything, do not mess with it at all. Take out your phone, take out your Elgato, whatever you have to take a screenshot of what the machine looks like when you walked up to it and haven't touched it for the first time. You need to have that on hand because you're basically just gonna be referring to this the entire time. You're gonna be doing some stuff on the board, and how you know which one you're gonna turn next is based on what is on your phone or what is on your computer. Whatever you've taken the screenshot with, that's all that matters. So what you need to do is take a screenshot, and then basically, if you just want to mentally circle it, I'm going to physically circle it here. Circle every single handle that starts out in the vertical position. So for me, these are all of these handles right here. I've taken a screenshot and I've looked, and those are all the handles that are vertical. Now, all these handles that are vertical, all these handles that you've mentally noted are the ones that you need to be turning. All you need to do is start turning this board, just the ones that started out in the vertical position. So I'm only gonna be turning these right here. I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like right now so you can kind of see what I mean. But on the top row, I only had the second and the fourth one that were vertical. So it doesn't matter if it's vertical, horizontal, sideways, upside down. It does not matter what it is. But if that dial was originally vertical, you need to flip it. And as you can see, as you get to the end, this one worked out on the first try. It can take up to 2 tries to get this. I'll explain the second try in a second with a different example. But as you can see, it worked out perfectly. All the dials are facing the correct direction, and you hack Neil successfully, and you can move on to the next step. But it may not work out for the first try. It may take 2 tries. It'll either work out on the first try or the second try, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like with the live feed right here. So here I go again. This time I'm starting out with swapping out all the horizontal ones just because there is less. You can do either vertical or horizontal. I just chose vertical for that last example to make it easier, but you can choose vertical or horizontal. It doesn't really matter which one, but all you need to know is, so here I go. I'm switching each and every one that started out as a horizontal button. I'm going ahead, I'm switching those. And then once I complete, I get through all the ones that started out originally horizontal, and it's still not completed. Now what I need to do is, if it didn't work, I need to go ahead and take another screenshot and do the same things, but with verticals. So now all the ones that are vertical on my screen right now, I'm gonna go ahead and swap all of those, just like this is a brand new board that I'm walking into, but you do need to switch. So say in the last example that it didn't work, as you can see right now, this one is about to work on out and complete the puzzle. But say in the last one it didn't work, I started out with switching all the vertical switches that were originally vertical and it didn't work, I would need to switch to horizontal. If I start out doing horizontal switches, I need to switch to vertical switches. So basically you're just resetting the game every single time and alternating back and forth between looking at the vertical switches and then looking at the horizontal switches, and those being the ones that you switch and go through. Very, very easy to do, very, very simple. If you guys have any questions whatsoever about this, should be very, very straightforward. I gave you guys examples of both, but go ahead and tweet them to me or whatever, NoahJ456 on Twitter. I'll try to help you guys out. If you just send me a picture of your board that is completely untouched, I'll tell you what to do, anything like that. But I'll go ahead and move on here for the people who did get it. Congratulations, you got past all of the hard stuff and you are pretty much right at the end of the Easter egg. So once you hack Neil, immediately run on over where you just have one zombie left to Neil himself. And now that he is hacked, you can actually pull his face out of here when it's happy. You can only pull him out with it when he's happy. You have a limited amount of time to do this. And if you fail this in any way, he's gonna drop a nuke in the round or kill a bunch of zombies. And then he will only be activatable again if you complete the puzzle again, or if you just wait until the beginning of the next round. But as you can see, keep on rolling with Neil's head. He's basically going to, you just need to take him to Pack-a-Punch. He's gonna be looking around, he's gonna be going crazy. Sometimes he's not gonna open up doors because while you're holding his head, all of the doors get locked down in the entire facility. And you basically just have to make your way toward the Pack-a-Punch machine and hope that he opens up the doors when he gets there. I got lucky on my first try. But if a door doesn't open when you walk up to it, just try to find another path. You need to make your way all the way to Pack-a-Punch while holding his skull, and once you get in there, you need to go ahead and place it onto the computer. But yeah, don't really trust what he's looking at. He doesn't really look in the way he wants to go. You just need to bring him up to a door. If he likes the door, he'll open it. If not, you need to find another path to Pack-a-Punch. But go ahead, keep holding R2, teleport in, just softly place his head as close in there as you can get it to this little computer monitor, let go, and that is it. That is the actual boss fight trigger. Now all that's left to do is getting set up. As you can can see, I did this on director's cut mode and did it on round 2, which we could have done it on round 1, I'm pretty sure, if we really wanted to, but we did it on round 2. Again, this is gonna probably take you about 9 or 10 rounds to open up the entire map and do everything like that, opening a pack-a-punch and whatever, but that's all you need to get into the actual boss fight, just getting set up so you don't die, because it is a very, very difficult boss fight with a lot of enemies. And basically, I would recommend that you 100%, if you don't want to go for the Venom Z, if you want something even better, is to just get the Kindle 44 out of the mystery box and then double pack-a-punch it. It is, you basically have unlimited ammo. There's going to be an ammo supply crate, so you can just spam with these pistols. It's honestly the easiest way to kill stuff, especially if you have like 3 or 4 people. It's insane against all of the different enemies. There's going to be a couple of rhinos, and it does insane damage to them. It's the best weapon in the game, and if you take in bomb stoppers with it, you already don't do explosive damage to yourself with the double pack-a-punch pistols, but you do more damage to other things with bomb stoppers. So take them in, double pack-a-punch Kindle 44s, get them out of the box, take them in, and then take a pretty good like AR or something like that as your secondary, and make sure you have all the perks and everything you need. Go ahead, enter into the boss fight by everyone holding square on the computer at the exact same time, and now let's explain the boss fight. Now to start off, what you guys just saw is you have to kill a couple of rhinos that actually get blasted out of their cages by the machine gun on top. Basically, all you have to do is kill those rhinos to progress through this this thing. There's very few things that you have to do in this boss fight aside from just stay alive and kill things. So there's really not too much to talk about. Basically, the first couple stages, number 1, you have to kill those rhinos that spawn in off the bat. Number 2, you have to come over to this teleport area and then kill all of these cryptids that are spawning in. Again, any kind of explosive weapon is going to absolutely shred these things because they have super low health. They're just hard to hit. So keep on killing things until these little portals kind of like close down or whatever, and you're gonna go through and do this in 2 more areas. As you can see, those portals just closed down. We're moving on to the next area over here. Again, harder and harder enemies will spawn, and it does get a little crazy, so feel free to spam your ammo. There's actually an ammo crate that you see me go to over here. As you can see, all you have to do is just go hold square on it. You will refill your ammo for everything except for the venom weapons. Those will not refill. Those you have to pick up from cryptids, but any sort of gun with bullets or anything like that you can pick up. Keep on shooting things. You can actually find sentry guns around the map to set up as well, but again, the first couple stages are just killing things in 3 different areas, and then after you kill things in those 3 different areas, or however many areas that it actually takes you to, depending on how many players you have. For us, it was 3 areas for 3 players. There's going to be these little monitors around the map. I'm actually standing next to one right there. It's behind me, but those monitors are going to light up whenever you are able to actually go. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. There are the number of monitors for the number of players around the map. So if you have 4 players, you need to have 4 monitors, etc. So basically, you all need to press square on that monitor on the exact same time, and you're gonna have a bunch of stuff spawning in. So you need to do it pretty much as soon as you can, as soon as you have a break. So go over, press square on those monitors as soon as they are lit up, and you will progress on to the next stage.
Hashtag spaghetti house, bro.
So does it have to light up? Okay, mine's on.
Yeah, it's like 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, never mind.
Go.
After killing all of the ads and ending those 3 monitors, all you need to do is wait for the big machine gun to blow a hole in there, hold square on that machine, and you will see a countdown for 99 seconds begin, in which case you will have to start a whole nother wave of ads and survive for the whole 99 seconds, and after it's over, you have to hold square on it one more time to enter the final stage of the boss battle, which is the Blue Rhinos. Now, the number, I think, actually scales with how many people you have. Not completely sure. I know for 3 people, it is 2 Blue Rhinos. These rhinos have an incredible amount of health, and not only are they pretty much are just like normal rhinos in every single way, except that they have one extra ability, and that is that they will start bleeding on the floor that will leave this blue fire. Now, this blue fire stays on the map forever. It will not leave until you kill both of the blue rhinos. That's the end of the Easter egg anyway. But as you can see, all that blue fire on the map is the equivalent of 1 zombie hit per second to you, and the rhinos can actually charge and put their head down and butt you off the map, and basically just put put you at 1 shot to death. So if you step in their fire and then they do a charge attack on you, you are pretty much instantly dead. They are extremely powerful, extremely dangerous, and you guys will see whenever you face them that you really need to be geared up for this. The Pack-a-Punch Kindles do a lot of damage to them. Basically any sort of SMG or AR that fires a ton of bullets very, very fast, like the FHR or the Ripper or anything like that you can use, is the best way to take these things on. But the fire does a ton of damage. They do a ton of damage. Try to kill them as quickly as possible. However, if you do complete this, you will be rewarded with the Easter egg cutscene, which you guys can actually find in the video in the description down below if you guys would like to check it out. But because that, yeah, I know, I said the same thing when I finished. That is the actual ending of it. I thought there's gonna be some sort of big finale or anything like that, but that is saved for the super Easter egg, which I will save for another tutorial very, very soon. If you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will put that up ASAP. Hope you guys enjoyed this one though. That is the Beast from Beyond Easter egg tutorial, the full main quest. If you guys did enjoy, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you guys in the next one, and peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.